Today's episode of This Fourmet Life is special for two reasons. Firstly, and most importantly, this is the reunion of two friends after a long time. Secondly, it's the story of a boy who transformed himself with a lot of hard work, consistency, and patience. Some of you may know him by now from the thumbnail picture. Overcoming all odds, he went from being super fat to super fit. From getting exhausted after just a small sprint to competing in long distance running. He went from being just another kid in our residential to becoming an athlete. One thing is pretty sure that you and I are going to get inspired after listening to this podcast. So stay tuned till the end. Also, we have added timestamps in the description, so listen to it with your comfortable pace and time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your co-host Rahul and I present to you Mr. Chirayu Desai. Let me introduce you guys to Mr. Chirayu Desai. Chirayu is about to become a hotelier. He's a triathlete who also competes in half marathons and cycling event. How are you, bhai?
I'm absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So, how's your travel buddy, man? How's your new exercise buddy, Ace?
Oh, he's fantastic. He's a small 5-month-old German Shepherd.
Okay.
And he loves to exercise a lot.
Yeah, I see all your stories about him. And yeah, he's really great.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So, Chirayu, we all know that we are facing this wonderful pandemic. I know you had a plan to go abroad for further studies. And this situation has definitely hampered that for now. So, have you come up with any plan B or have you decided what to do next?
So as we all know that seeing the current scenario, not just hospitality industry, but all the major industries has been hampered. And many colleges have started taking the online courses as well.
Yes.
So seeing the current scenario, it's not possible for any student to go abroad for at least a year or so.
Yes.
So instead of wasting time, I started consuming sports related knowledge by signing up for online courses, sports nutrition and fitness nutrition like that.
Okay.
So it's not just helping me to grow as a athlete, but it also helps me for my overall development in the fitness industry.
Okay.
And hopefully by 2021, I should resume my abroad studies.
So you are planning for masters in
culinary, yeah.
Culinary, okay.
So I was just planning to go to Canada, but yes, it has been postponed to 2021. So next year.
We all wish to get started with our normal life soon.
Oh yeah.
One thing I was always curious about and I wanted to ask you since a long time and I don't want to miss this opportunity. So my curiosity was about your choice of sport. Could you tell our audience about how did you get into endurance sports? Why choose running in marathons when you can run, say, on a football field?
So eventually it started with the target of losing my excess weight. I'm talking about 3 to 4 years back when I was like 120 kgs and...
Oh yeah, I remember that balloon. I'm sorry.
And to be honest, being 120 kgs was not at all comfortable, to be honest.
Yes.
And so it started with the intention of losing weight. So I started doing cycling. I bought a cycle and I started cycling so that I can lose the excess weight, because as you know that cycling is the low impact exercises and which helps to lose weight.
Yes.
So I started with that.
Okay.
So eventually I met like-minded people who were into the sports industry and who were into endurance racing. Just to do something extra beyond cycling, I started doing duathlon. So duathlon is an event in which you have to first run, then cycle and then run.
Okay.
And then afterwards I discovered triathlons as well.
Okay.
The reason why I love running is you can go at your own comfortable space. There is no one to pressurize you, and while running, you just get lost into your own world. And that's the reason I guess I love running in endurance sport rather than running in football.
Okay. But let's not blame you completely because, guys, if you don't know, Chirayu is a baker. So he has his own bakery. So we cannot blame him completely. Nice. Beautiful. I'm sure many of must be knowing about this, but for those audience who are completely new to this term, endurance sports. So endurance sports is an umbrella term.
Yes, yes.
And under that, there are multiple types of events. So my question to you is, could you explain to our audience the various events which are under endurance sports?
Yes. So it's a huge platform. Endurance sport is a huge thing. So in endurance sports, there are various other sports like ultra cycling, ultra marathons, triathlons, duathlons, and many more. So it depends upon which sport a person likes to do. So my main event is triathlon.
Okay.
So triathlon consists of swimming, then cycling, and then running.
Okay.
So in one go, we have to do everything, and then the distance depends upon the type of event you participate in.
Okay.
So there are sprint level distance, Olympic level distance, half and full.
Obviously, it's in the same chronology, right? The
Yeah.
swim, running,
cycle and run.
swimming, cycling, and running.
Running, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice. What are steps do you have to go through when you are preparing for your events? I'm sure there is a lot of process when you are preparing for any of the event, be it just a duathlon or a triathlon. Is the preparation intensity the same for, say, a marathon and an ultra marathon, or does it vary according to the type of event?
So first thing first, we all need to be ready, not just physically, but mentally as well.
Yes.
Because as you know that endurance sports is more of mental preparation than physically. So the intensity of the training depends upon the distance of the sports you are in.
Okay.
So let's talk about the marathon. As we all know that marathon is a running event in which you have to complete the distance of 42.2 kilometers.
Okay.
And then we have the ultra marathons.
Okay.
The distance which is more than 42.2 kilometers, that is, it can be 50, 60, 100 kilometer running. It is termed as ultra marathon.
Okay.
So obviously the training will be more for the ultra marathons than the regular marathons.
Okay.
Just the 42.2 kilometers.
Okay.
So currently I'm training for full Ironman, and which is swimming, cycling and running. But the distance is 3.8 kilometers swimming. Then we have 180 kilometers cycling.
Okay.
And then a full marathon, that is 42.2 kilometers of running as well.
Wow. So
Yes. So in one go, we have to do everything. We have a time limit of 17 hours and it depends upon the type of course. But in general, on an average, it is 17 hours.
So do you still survive after that?
Yeah. Most of the time, yes, but it depends how much you have trained for that event. If you are really very consistent about your training and you have been doing that for a long time, then it's but still we all die at the end of this race.
And when is it going to happen, this event which
So I'm planning for 2022.
2022.
Yeah, so I'm planning to do South Africa,
Okay.
which happens generally in March end.
Wow.
So,
And in
yeah.
their climate.
In their climate, so over there the climate conditions are favorable sometimes, but yeah, in general, on an average, it's 25 to 30 degrees Celsius at that time in March.
Oh, okay. Wow. And for that you are preparing from now.
Yeah, it takes about 1 or 2 years of consistent training and everything.
And it will include even your nutrition also. Definitely.
Yes. No cheat days, no cheat meals, nothing at all.
Okay. Beautiful. So your adventure buddy, Ace, have you ever taken him to any of your training session?
Once I took him for the running session, which included a small sprints. So I had to do a 200-meter sprint and then 1 minute rest. So during that time, I took him for a 200 meters sprint. and he was just a small pup, yeah, just cute little thing. And the way he used to run, I used to like love
There's
that.
a vast difference between your stamina and his stamina.
Yes, but he used to compete me. He used to give me a tough race, during that 200 meter.
So this lockdown and social distancing must have definitely impacted your training. How are you coping up with that? What steps did you take to minimize the damage?
So before COVID, let's see, till February, we used to train together. All my training buddies,
Okay.
we used to train together. We used to go for swim, cycle, run. But because of the guidelines provided by the government, it's not possible for seeing the current scenario. It's not possible for us to train together.
Yes.
What we have done is we have started training indoors, and what we do is while training indoors also we switch on our video call, and that's how we motivate each other,
Okay.
and that's how we do.
Okay. So even you have that spin in cycle.
Yes. So I have a indoor trainer,
Okay.
so we have to just attach our cycle to that indoor trainers, and we can cycle as long as we can, and type of intensity is same as outdoors and indoors.
Okay.
It's
But
not a different.
do you get the same feeling?
Yes, absolutely. We get the same feeling. We can even climb Sinhagad also. We also can climb the Mount Everest as well.
Okay.
But Mount Everest is way far than my reach,
Yes.
because it's very hard to do on the indoors.
Okay. I'm aware that endurance sports require a lot of investment, be it a physical investment, emotional investment, or even financial investment. So do you think that it's better to invest in yourself first rather than bearing the expense of injury and health problems down the line? Because I've seen some young athletes at some point they prefer not to invest that much time, that much equipment investment. They compromise in that phase, and unfortunately that they face other problems later. What's your thought about that?
I think it's better to invest in yourself rather than bearing the expense of the injury and health problems. And as we know, there is a saying, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for your illness. So yes, I think so. It's better to invest in yourself
Definitely.
rather than paying the medical bills
Yes.
of the emergency situations.
Because I tell the same thing to my clients that it's better to see this change in a lifestyle as an insurance policy.
Absolutely, yes.
Instead of paying your bills later. Great words, man. Injury and rehab are inseparable in an athlete's journey.
Yep.
Let's say it's a gift hamper which you get after choosing this sport, any sport. So you know about my football injury. I was mentally disturbed a lot
Yes,
that time.
yes. I had seen those days.
It's a feeling like you have lost everything and you can't do anything. Feel like a loser, you can't do simple things. I have asked this to my previous guests also, that how do you cope up with that? Because it's a different phase, it's a very difficult phase. So could you just walk us through your journey of injury, the recovery process? Was there any time when you felt completely down and felt like just giving up, that this is it, I'm not doing anything else now?
Yes, so I would like to talk about my first ever injury which had happened before my Oman triathlon.
Okay.
So my Oman triathlon was scheduled on March, I guess. Yes, March 2019. And on January, I had a injury. So it was injury related to excess of protein intake, and because of which uric acid deposits had happened in my toes. So I was not able to walk, I was not able to run, I was not able to do anything. Just the cycling also, but that too on a low impact. Over the times, when many small injuries happen related to knees, ankles and everything. So with the good physio sessions and I guess a proper rest, I was finally able to recover from my injuries. So currently I'm having an injury related to my patella. That is the injury related near the knee,
Okay.
which is on my left leg.
Okay.
So I'm still recovering from that, and with the regular physio session, I guess hoping to recover soon. Let's see how this works this time.
Okay. What you said about your excess protein intake, anything which you take in excess amount,
Yes.
it will definitely
Harm your body
harm
or
your-
in some or the other condition.
yes.